What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 4 of my Total Warhammer 3 Kairos Fateweaver Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we completed the destruction of the Nurglish faction, which had occupied the Abyssal Glacier directly south of our main territory. Unfortunately, immediately after their destruction, the Rapturous Excess Slaaneshi faction declared war on us in conjunction with the war declaration for Talaqua. Things got pretty interesting, and now we're stuck figuring out how to deal with this with only one army on the field, and not really an ability to defend from attacks in the north because we don't have any walls anywhere. I do think we might have to prioritize walls over pretty much anything else up to this point because we can't really afford another army. Though I suppose we could in theory risk it maybe here to send Kairos north to grab the Skull Island and then go up here. All this of course presuming that Teclis, who is moving southward, I think these guys had 2 territories. All that presuming that Teclis doesn't declare war on us. Well, we'll have to figure that out. In addition to all of that, we now have access to the Blood DLC, and more importantly, those units that are missing that you guys were talking about in the comments. All available now. Fortunately, it's all save compatible, so we do have various new Marauder and Knight and Warrior of Chaos varieties that we will be getting at some point. Of course, the more useful ones are all past Tier 3. So I guess we'll have to wait until we get them. And we can get Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch, but no Horse Masters of Tzeentch. That's a little bit disappointing. I really love Marauder Horse Masters. Oh well, what can you do? You can't have everything. Now, let's get back to what we were doing here. First of all, Kairos, you should be in channeling stance. And speaking of channeling, let's just swap some magic around like this. Increase the growth in our primary province. Growth plus 20 from you. Actually, right now it's probably not worth doing that, is it? Because you, Lost Palace, have both control increase and growth increase, whereas you do not. Not until next turn, anyway. Yeah, alright, fine. Let's swap it back to what it was. Really, we need to just conquer this province so that we can transfer some more wins, then both of these can be in a good place. Other than that, there were some comments about trying to ally with the Beastmen and trying to transfer them a settlement and then build an outpost there to get access to some of their units. I really like the idea. Unfortunately, the Blooded Axe tribe, which is the Beastmen that we have our non-aggression pact with, is a little bit reluctant to have anything to do with us. Minus 23 on the defensive alliance. I think the only thing that we can do, since they're currently not at war with anybody, is try to butter them up with gifts, and then, that's actually not bad. Yeah, you know what? Let's give them a generous gift. Let's see how much this changes. Alright, that gives us up to 53. You know what? I just want to see something. I rarely give gifts to factions, so I'm kind of curious. 53, so we got plus 40 from the generous gift. And then we got another plus 10 from the small gift. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting indeed. But I think we don't need to give any more. If this actually goes up to 63, maybe they'll be willing to go for that defensive alliance with us. And hopefully that'll happen by the time that we can transfer the new settlement via changing of the ways in 4 turns. Actually, you know what? I'd probably like to align with these guys as well and confederate them eventually. So let's give them a gift while we're at it. We have the money after all. Oh. Wow, okay, no, you're only getting a small gift, sorry. You think too much of yourself and you're thinking that you're worth a lot more than the Beastmen are. So propose offer, there we go, going up to 32. It's a little better. Let's hope that that works out for us. Now we're at 1,300, or 13,000 rather, but there is another Skull Island banked right here, so I'm not too concerned. Other than that, I was considering building some walls. We delete a couple of these buildings. You know what? We don't really need this flicker of potential right now. We're not going to be able to afford any pink horrors for a while because of the economy issue that we're currently having. So let's just delete that and replace it with walls. We can also upgrade Dawn's Light and replace that with walls. This is going to get a wall in 5 turns. And what do we do in here? Okay, wall in 2 turns, wall in 5-ish turns. What about you guys? Walls, Lost Palace, probably a while. Actually, more like not such a while. We'll see. And then we can get walls and walls. Everywhere walls, damn it. And nothing but walls. Alrighty, let's end the turn then. And nothing else to do except possibly... Just had another thought with regards to diplomacy. Clan Morbidus. You guys wanted a non-aggression pact and military access. We just saw that the elves are moving southward, but they probably hate us anyway. So how much money would you give us for this? You know what? 2.1k, that gives us our gifts back. And if this faction dies, none of it matters. Feels appropriate. It would be just like Tzeentch to make them think that we'd help them out and then, you know, they die. Now, I assume that this faction is going to just sit here and wait for us to attack them. They do have nearly full stack there. Looks like Harald Bloodreaper decided to try something. And Leafcutters, what you want? Military access, but all you offer is a mere 200 money. How much money would you be willing to give us? 239? Would you be willing to join war against... None of that really helps. Do we even want to bother with this? 200 money is probably not worth just pissing off more factions and making them declare war on us earlier. You know what? Let's just hold off on that. I think we have at least slightly better things to do. Haha! And the last defenders attack the Leafcutters right now. Huh? I'm willing to bet these guys want deals more now that they're fighting, but they're not rich enough to give us anything. Ooh. Also. Let's take a quick look at Clan Moribdus. How much money would you give us for the defensive lines? 500? No. I was thinking that if they'd give us another 2k, I'd be willing. But oh well. Now, Kairos, I want you to attack Occam's Forever Maze. Winds of Magic plus 15 per turn. Yeah, sure. Alrighty, and that is actually quite the army, isn't it? You know what? Let's siege this. Let's siege this instead of attacking. If they attack us in the field, we have a much better chance of badly mauling them than we do slowly working through gates and stuff like that, as we wouldn't be able to leverage our ranged units nearly as much in that particular situation. Otherwise, let's see what we can do in terms of buildings. I did want walls here, and I really want walls in Uatek and Zlatland because, well, Talakwa is coming. Talakwa is coming, Teklis is coming. Almost like I'm playing the Kari again. Anyway, let us continue. Collect income would give us 350, but our public order is really problematic here. It would drop down to -6. Just thinking, maybe we allow this to happen anyway. On the other hand, wait, if we start going positive public order, later on we'll get growth, because right now we have a growth reduction, and that ain't so great. Damn it. Alright, fine. Let it grow, then. Let it grow. Okay, well, I guess that's another end turn. I can't think of anything to do in terms of deals or anything. Bloody Sword, unlikely to ally with us. Clan Moribdus is willing to go for the defensive alliance. Hey, look at this, Blooded X Tribe. I think they were at -20 before or something like that. But now they're at -11.5? Or did that change at all? I feel like it did because of our gifts. We're gonna have to keep topping up those gifts later on, aren't we? And I guess the same thing for you guys. Just get everybody into very green. Yeah. Alright, well, we'll work on it. We'll probably give them a little bit more money down the line, but we need that money for walls right now, so let's ignore it. In the meantime, Abyssa, let's hope that you come out and attack us here. I mean, if we have to siege and do this the old-fashioned way, we absolutely will. Kairos can still destroy massive amounts of enemies with his magics. It's just that I feel like this would be a little bit easier via field battle. Yes. Alrighty, looks like they want to fight. They only have a level 2 Lord at that. And Oh yeah, they stole one of our Furies. Ah, rude. Tremendously rude. And to steal one of the birds, too. Come on. There can only be one Lord of the Wings. Anyway, I guess we're going to fight this as a cinematic. That's 2 stacks. Man, that's actually a lot of Daemonettes, isn't it? Huh. Well, this should be a fun time anyway.
There is no prophet wondering what is to come. All is already written.
Alrighty, well I certainly hope so, because this is looking to be a pretty interesting battle. Obviously the balance of power is in the enemy's favor with their 2 stacks against ours. In a one-on-one, a Daemonette unit would absolutely obliterate either a pink horror or a blue horror if it was allowed to charge it directly. That said, we will see what we can do to change that, that disadvantage to our advantage, I guess. Now, in that light, what I did here was set up the entire army in this little cliff area. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer. Generally speaking, I don't like to do anything in these campaigns that's like cheesy, as in I don't like to corner camp and all that stuff, but there are rare exceptions wherein the only good terrain happens to be at the edge of the map, creating this little bridge area here. Sometimes it's the only hill on the map that's in a corner or something like that, and that's the only way that I'll generally do that. So yeah, hopefully this isn't too bad. I mean, well, it's not like we have any other real decent options here, and this just seems like a really good location to defend, doesn't it? So why wouldn't we make good use of it? After all, incorporating the terrain into your defense is a fairly decently big part of getting the advantage in battle. Alrighty, well, it looks like we're going to have to kill our own poor Furies, so we're going to surround them with our Furies and then Kairos in the middle. I can't really tell where our Furies end and their Furies begin, because they're all the same type, and they look identical. Huh. Yeah, so the demonic units, they don't change colors, do they? Yeah, it certainly makes it annoying to try to pick out units. Like, if 2 Nurgle factions fight each other, it's just Nurglings on Nurglings, and they all look identical, isn't it? Well, either way. Hopefully we don't have to see too much of that, unless the scribes of Tzeentch decide to betray us. Anyway, we're going to hover around, and as usual, we're going to continue using the power of aerial artillery against the enemy. Gonna glean some magic from the enemy Herald of Slaanesh, but otherwise going to continually make use of that blue fire spam to dish out some decent damage. Let's see, a couple more hits will probably take you out. You're only level 2 and you don't have much HP. Fragile Slaaneshi unit after all. So yeah, Kairos can enjoy that sort of thing, while the rest of the army moves in to the fray where we're defending. Looks like they decided to move in with a couple of Hellstriders first, and they were countercharged by our cultists. Granted, our cultists can't really stand up to this, but it can stand up to their attacks a little bit longer than they can stand up to the massed amount of blue and pink firepower. There we go. Well, here comes more enemies. Gonna get a shot off with our Exalted Flamer, who's standing up front. As for the setup here, it's pretty simple. Blue Horrors, Pink Horrors in the back, and then our units of Forsaken together with the Knights standing out front. Obviously, the idea is that these heavily armored units would hold the ground. And here comes a Lash of Slaanesh right into the middle of our troops. I guess that's one of the unfortunate things about allowing a caster to live long enough. I was hoping to get a few more Glean magics off, but it looks like we're probably better off just straight up killing the enemy. Alright, and here we go. Unfortunately, the Knights are a little bit too big as models, so they will start suffering damage from our own units. On the other hand, we can't really just leave the Forsaken here, because they get ripped apart by Daemonettes. There we go. Alrighty, but at least our units are arcing fairly well over our units. Not in the best manner, but certainly good enough. The enemy is getting really badly mauled, at least with the units that are up front. Kairos has also managed to kill the enemy Lord incapacitated, so that should be a morale shock, and then we can further the morale shock by both landing Kairos in and then hosing them down with some pink fires of Tzeentch like we're about to do now. In fact, let's just take a look at that at the same time. Pink and blue fire coming down, and then there's the spell as well. That's a lot of splash damage. Oh, and it is bloody, huh? And so the demons can bleed. Well, isn't that nice? Unless that's just splashback from some of the marauders. Kind of hard to say. I would have assumed that the demonettes would just, you know, disappear rather than bleed, like all of these ones are doing. That was a pretty nice shot, though. Alright, well, gotta keep going way more where that came from, though plenty are disappearing under the concentrated fire. There are, what, at least a dozen more units coming in? Look at all that. Yeah, and plenty more on the side over there. We're also not getting really any use out of our Furies right now. After killing the Furies that they seduced, we've essentially just been forced to hold back and wait with them. Because if we land, they'll just die, and there's no real good units that are isolated enough for us to attack them individually. We're gonna save them in the hopes that we can win this battle, holding the ground, and then afterwards we can maybe just use them to chase units down. Kairos is actually tanking, doing a fairly decent job, getting another use of that pink fire of Tzeentch and the massive amount of damage that dishes out. I've been really happy with that spell so far, especially in the early game when the enemy has so many units massed together. Now, looks like our cultist is going to get hit by the demonettes, going to cascading fire cloak ourselves just in case that extra melee defense to help out, otherwise he will get killed fairly easily by the demonettes. Now is probably the critical time. Kairos still has a little bit of magic left, but we've basically completely run out of ammo on all of our blue horrors, so only the pink horrors will be able to provide help with a fairly large number of units still remaining. We're going to have to take them on in melee, plus with the help of the pink horrors, and the nice shot from that exalted Flamer of Tzeentch. You're going to be a big help as well. Plus Kairos can continue laying down the hurt with all those pink fires. Alright, it looks like it's pink fire superiority today, because obviously we're relying on Kairos and the Exalted Flamer and the pink horrors. The world is not kind to blue fire. All this fire type discrimination. Oh yeah, that shot from the frickin' Exalted Flamer. Gotta love it with the blood. It looks pretty damn great. And let's see, it looks like the enemy is out of here. Not quite enough troops. That was an absolute meat grinder, or fire grinder? Pink fire grinder? Let's go with that. Oh, damn. Pretty glorious battle, though, I gotta say. Though a lot of that, I'm sure, was at least partly due to the terrain. I mean, I'm sure we could have Death Starred in another location, like, for example, the cliffside here. Maybe even balled up between these two and done the exact same thing. Though I'm sure some of the enemies would have gone around. There's another cliffside here where we could have gone and actually separated ourselves from two locations. So I'm sure that we could have held elsewhere. It's just that this happened to be the best location. Still, hopefully not too cheesy. You guys let me know. Otherwise, we're just going to... Oh, wow, look at that. I just obliterated those poor runners. Yeah, we're going to chase these guys down and turn them into, well, that, as much as possible, so that we can hopefully auto-resolve the next fight here. Obviously, they've sallied out of their settlement with all these units, so the more we kill, the more likely that we don't have to fight them again. And I'd obviously prefer to avoid that. I do wonder how many kills the Furies are going to be able to get. Once again, I find that they're not very good at actually chasing units. Gonna try to get some Screamers later on to replace them. The Screamers do seem to be quite a bit better at chasing stuff down than the Furies are, for whatever reason. I feel like I make that comment in pretty much every single campaign for some reason. It just bugs me. It feels like they should be pretty okay at chasing, but they get outperformed horribly by, well, pretty much anything. Anyway, a heroic victory. Our losses, surprisingly, were fairly minimal, though our Forsaken did take a little bit of a beating, and so did our Knights. But yeah, that pink fire grinder just wore the enemy down pretty massively. Alright, well that went pretty okay. I mean, our losses at 151 were rather minimal here, and I do think that enough of the enemies are probably dead that we should, in theory, be able to auto-resolve it. Also, do we just get 4 levels out of that? Damn. That's not bad at all. Kairos, you could get the Scarecrow banner, because you're scary and you're kind of a crow. More like a raven or an eagle, but whatever. Let's get to you. Ooh. More money, or do we heal to full, or nearly to full? You know what, healing would probably enable us to definitely auto-resolve this, and I really kind of want to auto-resolve it. So while 1200 money is decent, I think let's not get greedy. We got 4k out of this. Let's just make sure that we take this without further casualties. Alright, Clan Morbidus. You want... yeah, okay, I just tried that. 320 is not enough, man. Give us another 2k like you did before. Frickin' 300 money. Or are you kidding? We just gave up 1200 to heal very, very slightly. Kairos got Audacious, Leadership and Charge bonus, and that Scarecrow banner. Weird Spawner also now available. Nice. Ambusher discovered. Bamu Blackheart. Who the heck are... oh, right, this guy. Why are you raiding our territory? Can't say I like that very much, but whatever. This is the Blooded Axe tribe, right? The friendly guys? Why are you raiding our territory, and why are you in ambush? I guess they're technically pretty much always in ambush. In battle, eliminate a lord belonging to Ghost of Pahwaks. Get a free obsidian blade and some nice relationship with those guys if we start fighting their battles for them. Go figure, right? How friendly are we now? 30. Do we want to give them... you know what, let's give them another small gift. That ambush thing is making me nervous. There we go, now we're moving up to 69. Nice. Take that as a sign. Not necessarily a Tzeentchian sign, but a sign. You, Kairos, let's have you auto-resolve this while we're here, and let's... wait, you can get your lord back even though you're under siege? Interesting. I guess you raise one of the lords up from the rabble. Auto-resolve. Nah, pretty minimal. Good. Casualties, I mean, and then we shall occupy the place. Alrighty, and we start with walls there. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. We also have ourselves one of these completed. A technology. Now, we have to choose between whether we want to go straight to Storm of Fire through Locus of Transmogrification, which takes quite a bit, or in the alternative, since we have Gift of Mutation, we go through Way of Deceit to the Way of War, and then Bolt of Change right after that as well. And I do like the Way of War. It sounds pretty damn solid. Also, Transmutation of War will give us more money from settlement buildings. But just the idea of being able to force a war between some factions, it would probably delay the inevitable fight we have with these guys and whoever the heck else is around here, because they're all going to try to attack us. Yeah, you know what? I like that, and that's why I did it. I've convinced myself here. Now, Kairos. Earthing Rod, Ancillaries. Oh, you got another Mythomaniac. You have a Mythomaniac. Do you have a Mythomaniac? You do not have a Mythomaniac. Have a Mythomaniac. Everybody deserves a nice Mythomaniac. Alrighty, and you leveled up 4 times, which means Boons of Change, Invulnerable through Change, and Fragment of the Green Wind Gairan for a Life Bloom and our sweet, sweet spells, i.e. Regrowth. Shield of Thorns will probably be helpful as well, but Regrowth, yes. Beautiful. Happy for Kairos. We've disabled Treason of Tzeentch, which we didn't learn, and Tzeentch's Firestorm, which we didn't learn, in preparation for wanting the Green Wind. Now we're going to increase mobility on the Cultist, and Magical Reserves, yes, and definitely Piercing Bolts of Burning. That's the spell you want. Definitely the spell you want. Also, Well, we could recruit some better units here. Although I suppose we don't technically need them to fight. Once again, I'm kind of tempted to... make another army. Well, let's assume that this faction is basically dead. Like, Kairos will probably have killed them within the next, what, 1 turn, 2 turns here, probably another 2 turns here, and then 2 turns here, assuming. 6 turns, and then moving all the way back. But if we, say, take the Castle of Splendor instead, but then head directly out to sea, while another army finishes off this faction, that might be nice, especially since this was probably their most well-defended location, as the garrisons here look to be pretty trash. I suppose it'll depend on how expensive the army is. Let us get... Oh. I guess we should get a Herald of Tzeentch rather than a Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Opened eyes. But we've already summoned you once, so you should be pretty useful. Okay, fine. Here's what we'll do then. Summon you. And we'll immediately start recruiting. Oh, we just lost one of our Furies, so we can get them back. On the other hand, if we want to get this unit of Severed Claw, I suppose we could just give up one of our Blue Horrors for it. Yeah, fine. Alright, here's what you do. Start making some Marauders with Spears and some Chaos Furies. You have the reduction with Serve or Die. Yes, yes you do. Also, guess who gets a Mythomaniac? Mythomaniac. Okay. I just had to say that word again. Now, hopefully this will enable Kairos to go for that Skull Island. Maybe even stop on by and give Teclis a visit. He is here at the Temple Avenue of Gold. Man, lots of gold mines around here. Too bad we can't actually make use of them. You'd think if anybody would have the knowledge of how to make use of gold mines, it'd be Tzeentch. Anyway, as I was saying, walls here, walls there, here walls, there walls, everywhere. Walls. Let us then go next turn already. These turns are really quick early game, aren't they? Alright. Looks good to me. I should have checked diplomacy again. I'm trying to be better with diplomacy early game. I have a bad habit of avoiding it too much and just not trusting the AI as allies at all and just ignoring it, but then end up fighting with everybody, which ain't so great. Oh, I wonder how far Cathayan caravans can go. Oh wow, these guys are already destroyed? Oh, that ain't so great. You're right beside us now.
The undefeated horde.
We won't have time to make walls. We'll have time to make a garrison, but we certainly won't have time to actually wall up the minor settlements. Okay, yeah, we need the second army. Kairos needs to be down here. So here's what we do. Kairos, start moving. Well, you can't go here in 1 turn, so go here.
Follow the
And, oh, hello. We should be able to reach this in 1 turn. Okay, here's what we'll do. You are going to go into ambush stance. You are going to go in here and keep on recruiting. I would do some global recruitment, but it's a little bit on the expensive side right now. 1,500 just for 2 blue horrors? No thanks. And these are Marauders of Tzeentch with spears, not just regular Marauders, right? Yeah, let's do that, and then let's get another Fury here. Yes, it's very funny. Really, this just needs enough blue horrors and garbage units to be able to take 2 undefended territories after you're gone. So something like 12 units should do it for us, if I'm planning this right. Anyway, let's get a ram going here. And, oh, we can switch off that plague thing, can't we? Let's foster cults instead. Get some of that sweet Tzeentch corruption up and running. Also, let's counteract what we've been doing with a little bit of income collection. We'll drop it shortly, I think. We still have provincial instability for 1 turn. You know what, let's give it a turn or 2 and then we'll do it. We also need to try to figure out some way to make more money. Also, Demonium Hills, you are collecting income right now, which is probably a bad thing. Actually, minus 19 and minus 23 aren't going to be that much of a difference. Honestly, this place should be able to defend itself against the rebellion. We shouldn't be that concerned. You just keep collecting the income for now. At least until we get the Skull Island, and then once again not have to worry about money. We should also keep an eye on additional island spawns, though I'm not seeing any right now. Hopefully in the near future. Also, how are we doing for that changing of ways? One more turn until transfer settlement is available. Okay, so we could give, for example, this settlement to you guys, right? Because this place should be very much Tzeentch corrupted. Yes. Okay, we'll give that a try. I'm tempted to reveal Shroud on Talakwa, but if they're not attacking us as yet, I imagine they're still trying to take over this Leafcutter tribe faction. So probably we're okay until it's dead, which we need because we need to get those walls up in several locations. Alrighty, let's keep going. Kairos, you need to make quick work of the rest of this because they're all coming for us. Well, let me guess, you want peace now? Yeah, you want peace. Ooh, 2,000... Huh. I mean... No, but we basically just destroyed this faction already. This doesn't really give us anything, does it? Just out of curiosity. They'd be willing to give us 4K for this. Huh. Wait, would you be willing to give us the Castle of Splendor for this? No, it's your new capital. Oh, come on. What about the Crucible of Delights? No, no dice. 4K is pretty decent. But yeah, I feel like we're probably better off just destroying the faction outright, since they're basically already dead. If they had been willing to give us Castle of Splendor, I probably would have taken that, but it became their capital, so, eh. Oh well, what can you do? And, oh! These guys are raiding our territory now. Yeah, but they're raiding at the Lost Palace. What's the likelihood that even with a full stack, they go through the walls? Fairly low, I would think. Let's keep building walls up everywhere, though, as we've been doing. Dawn's Light or Tor Serpindar need an upgrade. And U-Attack is nearing the ability to get walls. How are we doing up here? Still working on that. Alrighty, Kairos. Move in to Castle of Splendor. And you... Really? You're gonna die? Really? Okay. We'll have to manually fight this, I guess. A bit of an annoyance, but what can you do? Are you able to move up into March Stance? Ooh. What if we move you into March Stance? Maybe. Not 100% on it, but who knows? Maybe this will allow us to auto-resolve it. I'd prefer not to fight pointless battles. How about now? Now they don't die. Lovely. Let's see how much casualties we take for this. We really don't need to fight this. Kairos can go in by himself, magic you to death, and then the rest of the army will die. Yeah, I can see that you got damaged. Alrighty, and then we'll take this place for ourselves. Now... Hey, victory over Slaanesh. Wait, did we lose another... No, we didn't. Okay. I thought that we lost another thing to Seduction, but it looks like we're okay this time around. Also, that reminds me, Winds of Magic Manipulation. You are looking good, but we don't need Tempestuous, we just need Strong. I think we bump this up to give Kairos back some, and Southern Jungles, you don't really benefit very much from this right now, so we'll keep you as you are. We're also at 100% Tzeentch Corruption, so we can, I think, switch to Control for extra growth or extra research rate. We're only at 110. The thing is, the extra 10 probably won't make much of a difference. Let's get the extra control for now. And then you are similarly up and running. You're actually giving us the extra research right now. Alright, fair enough. You know what, let's upgrade Tor Serpindar. I didn't realize that these guys would be so close and probably attack us so soon. Also, I really don't like how you're raiding us. I can always send an army back here to destroy these guys, but we have a non-aggression pact. So now we essentially have to wait for them to attack us, don't we? Assuming that they do. You know what we need to do? We need to sick them on another faction. Alright, so here's what we will do then. We we'll give them this. Changing of the Ways, transfer settlement, this one, to the Blooded Axe tribe, which will cost us up 450, which is quite a lot. Number of enemies, eh? Is more enemies better? Huh. Like, is there any way to get them to actually join war against this? Well, actually, we're not at war with these guys, are we? Okay, what? What if we join war against the Ghost of Pathwalks? You guys want that. It'll keep you friendly. But what will you give us for this? Probably... Yeah, I'm not willing to give you 5k, not for a defensive alliance. Would you be able to give us a settlement? We don't really want a settlement, do we? And you wouldn't give it to us anyway. Could ask for a little cash, but... Here's what I'm thinking. What if we'd be able to get this guy to join war against them? Now, then again, here's another option. What if we ask you to join war against the Rapturous Excess? 0? Wait, they'll give us money to okay. Weird, but okay. Sure, why not? And then at the same time, we're just going to transfer that settlement. I know that's going to cost us all of our grimoires, but what I want is essentially these guys to trespass over their territory. Okie dokie, so we will go for... Wait, did I select the wrong... Transfer settlement. And we'll give it to the Blooded Axe tribe. It's still at 450 despite the one number of enemies, so that didn't change anything. Damn. Oh well. 450 it is. Now that they have this, they're kind of not super friendly with our allies here, but more importantly, they will either hold on to this, or they will lose it and get declared war on these guys, and then maybe we'll get a better relationship with them. And I want those Cygors, damn it. Working hard for them Cygors. Alrighty, regardless, I believe that's it for this particular turn. What we might want to do here is have Kairos recruit some stuff. You have 2 new bats, yes? Or Furies, rather. I'm tempted to just join these 2 Furies together, and I know they cost us money, but this will allow us to recruit 2 more Blue Horrors quicker. On the other hand, we could just trade them. You know what? Go for 2 Blue Horror. 1 Blue Horror. Oh, we don't have room for 2. Alright, fine. Just do that, then. And just do that. And then we'll start moving you southward immediately. And then you'll go here, recruit some more, and then hopefully siege these guys. They'll only have 6 units. Might have to temporarily summon, like, the weird spawn here while we give the Severed Claw to Kairos. I'll think about it. But unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to think about it next turn, or next episode, rather, because we're basically out of time here, and this is probably the time to call it, at least without going into another episode. Or another turn, rather. Next time, we will try to hopefully destroy the rest of this faction with this little second army, and then send it out to possibly gather a few islands, or possibly send it out to fight the remnants of this Pathwalks faction, the Ghost of Pathwalks. Hopefully the Beastmen will love us enough after that to go for a defensive alliance with us. We're getting there. We're certainly getting there. And then maybe at some point give us some of those Cygors. Or even some early game Minotaurs. Oh, do you already have a Cygor? So does that mean your band can build them? Okay, now I really want those Cygors. Yeah, so we're gonna keep trying on that, and we'll keep trying to build walls up north, because once again, Tolakwa should attack us as soon as this little orc faction is dead. So stay tuned for more Tzeentch. I think there's some great battles in our future, and one of Kairos' heads tends to concur. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.